Hey everybody, it is Nikki with Delicate Tension Tarot. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you just have a lot of Aries placements in your chart. This is going to be for the energy surrounding October 15th through the 31st. Please remember this is a general reading. Some of the energies may resonate, some may not. If none of it resonates, check your moon, your rising, or if you have any other strong placements in your chart that you know of, you can check those as well. Also keep in mind that this can be mirroring energy. If you are dealing with a specific individual, this could be through the workplace, personally, family, even if it's just somebody you're really close to and you're taking on a lot of their issues, this could even be their energy. So just keep that in mind as well. Like I said, take what resonates, what makes sense. If it doesn't, just leave it. I am currently recording this on the full moon in Aries, which should be pretty interesting to say the least. I had some weird stuff happen last night, and it's interesting because it definitely correlates with a lot of the collective energy stuff I've been pulling. I've been picking up on a lot of energy about something coming forward out of the shadows or something kind of creeping up on you. It's almost as if this thing is camouflaged so you don't necessarily see it coming. And last night I was sitting outside of a friend's house and I was on the sidewalk and I thought I could hear somebody, like, honestly it sounded like human footsteps. I thought I could hear somebody walking down the sidewalk. So I assumed it was one of my friends, and I'm just sitting there waiting for them to get closer, and then figured I would turn up and start talking. So when I didn't hear them get close and I heard them stop, I turned and looked over, and there was a coyote. It was pretty massive, probably female from its size. But yeah, it scared the shit out of me. Because it was one of those things where I could kind of hear it. It's like I was expecting something, but when I turned, it was not what I expected at all. So for whatever reason, maybe this resonates with you. I feel like I'll probably talk about this story in a couple of the other readings when it feels appropriate, but yeah, it was weird. So I don't necessarily know what to expect, and honestly I don't really expect anything. I think that's the beauty of the message behind that encounter, was knowing that nothing ever looks like what you think it's going to, so you just have to, however it shows up is how it shows up. With that being said, let me kind of tune into your energy, see what it is that I get for you guys visually. It's really easy. It's really easy. Maybe it's easier than you think. It's really interesting. I kind of see this whole thing where it's like a monkey wrench. And it's almost as if you're working on something, you're putting something together. But I also hear a lot of like machinery noise, so it's one of those things where I can't tell if the noise feels like it's too much. It could just be that there's a lot going on. But whatever you're doing, you're working at it. So I feel like that's important. You're working at it. Show me what's going on for Aries for October 15th through the 31st. Show me what's going on for Aries for October 15th through the 31st. Okay. That's way too many. Let's try this one more time. There we go. Yeah, you might have a lot going on. There's way too many cards popping out each time. Show me what's going on for Aries, please. Oh my lord. Show me what's going on for Aries, please. There we go. Yeah, I definitely think you're having to work on a lot right now, because I feel like something's going on with you guys. I feel like a lot of you don't know what to do. All of this says I don't know what to do. Seven of Cups right here really is about kind of being lost in the fog. It's not being quite sure which way to go. And it's one of these things too where there's this illusion that's kind of cast over everything. Essentially, this can feel like the world is your oyster, but at the same time, you need to be careful with how much you're taking on, or how much you're choosing to take on, or how many things that you're going after at once. Maybe that's where the working hard feeling comes in, but I also feel like the working hard aspect has a lot to do with maybe things aren't going so great. Maybe you don't have the assistance that you need at this time, so you're having to do it on your own. Because the Wheel of Fortune in reverse and the Six of Pentacles in reverse to me is things kind of being removed and not necessarily given, and it's not in a positive light. And with the Knight of Pentacles back here and the Four of Pentacles, it's very much so having to hold on to what you do have, and you're not necessarily making a move. And a lot of that connected to the Hanged Man, it can be about being in this mode of observation. You're really trying to observe what's going on around you so that you can make the best decision possible, and you may have a lot of avenues that you can take to achieve what it is that you desire or what it is that you need. You're just not quite sure how that's going to work. Now with the Queen of Cups over here in reverse, this could have you in your emotions quite a bit. There could be a lot of frustration at this time. I don't necessarily see it as sadness. I see it as being all over the place. Two, if there is a lot of confusion or a lot of things going on around you, like I said, there could be those buttons being pushed where your frustration is having to be released in some way, shape, or form. So let's clarify some of these. Okay. Alright. Split. Okay. I love this deck. It doesn't even give me a chance. Yeah. Take it. Ooh, do not be foolish. Do not be foolish. Yeah, you're not in the best place ever. I mean, you're not mourning the loss of something, and it's not, the way you feel emotionally isn't as if everything's falling away from you. It feels more like frustration. It feels more like wanting to get a leg up on something and you just can't. It's quite possible that you could have had something that was helping you achieve some form of financial stability on a really beautiful scale, Either that has taken a turn for the worse, or just business isn't doing so great right now. If it is a relationship, I don't know how you guys are doing. You're not looking at each other, I will say that. I think everybody's standing their ground in the situation. And that's why I'm like, don't be foolish, because the Queen of Cups in reverse and the Fool, to me, is very foolish energy. It's acting out of emotional instability, and it's not acting from a place of emotional stability. So whatever leap of faith you're thinking about taking, I would give it a second thought. Do not be impulsive at this time. If you're uncertain about the direction that things are going in right now, I feel like you need to get focused. Maybe that's what the whole working harder at something aspect was for me too. It's like doing something to keep your mind focused in this sea of confusion. It even could just be regaining your focus at work. Maybe you need to focus on your own projects at this time. Maybe you need to focus on where it is that you're going or what you're doing when this starts kind of not looking so great. You are in the stages of manifesting something, but I think it is taking a little longer than you anticipated. And for whatever reason that is where a lot of the frustration could be as well. I think you need to take a time out and really recognize and understand that when the Wheel of Fortune is in reverse, sometimes things it has a natural progression, right? Things go up and then they must come down. They go up and then they must come down. That is a natural flux of life. Now, with these two cards together, especially since you have the Six of Pentacles in reversed up here, I feel like part of the feeling of bad luck or feeling like things aren't going your way is possibly because you are either having to use what it is that you've acquired on something else. It's almost like you're having to give everything that you've gained to something else, which leaves you with nothing. Or whatever was benefiting you, even if it was a person, if it was a connection, now that that individual is giving their energy elsewhere, or vice versa, you feel lost. It's quite possible too that this is a separate storyline here, that you could be dealing with somebody who is looking away from you. Maybe you guys aren't talking right now. And I think your belief is that they just totally are out of the picture and they don't even care about what's happened. I think they do care. I think they're really good at guarding their emotions, and I think they're even better at acting like nothing's wrong. They know how to bottle things up and keep things up inside, but I think there is a part of them that could possibly be planning or plotting on how to either run into you, talk to you, reach out to you. And it's also quite possible that because this is happening, maybe you had a dream of this person going the distance with you, and that dream is kind of, you might be putting it to bed. I don't want to say giving up, but I think you're just allowing yourself to heal from that expectation, and you're just moving forward. I don't know how well you're moving forward, but you're moving forward. The greatest advice I could give at this time is just making sure that you have your emotional stability intact and you aren't being foolish at this time, because it's one of those things that I want to say reel it in and refocus, because if you don't refocus, you will get lost. And I feel like you need to catch up. There's something here where you need to catch up. So focus on catching up. Don't focus on what's happening around you. Focus on what's happening to you. Whatever you need to handle at this point in time, take the reins, take control, and handle it. Pull a couple of cards from this. What are the clarifying energies for Aries, October 15th through the 31st? We have the Vision. We have the Eternal Child. We have the Mother. Very interesting. And we have the Siren. Yeah, I really don't want you to be distracted by other things that seem to be calling to your attention right now. It almost feels like this energy of being misled. And that's why I'm like, please don't be foolish. Because with the Eternal Child here and the Siren, that's a concerning combination to me. You could get lost at sea. And we all know the story of the siren, and if you don't, you should look into it. Sirens are not the most positive creature, so I'll tell you that. It ends in death and certain doom. But with the Vision and the Mother, I feel like you have an opportunity right now to expand upon the vision that you have for yourself. And I think maybe if there is kind of like a downtick in your luck or things aren't going in your favor, I think there's a reason for that. Like I said, it's about regaining focus, and it's about getting back to work with what you're doing and what you're focusing on. And also understanding that in motherly energy and nurturing energy, to nurture yourself at this time, do not focus on the things that are external to you unless it absolutely needs your attention. I feel like there's a hidden pearl of wisdom in everything that's going on right now. And I think you're on your way. There's something here where I want you to pay attention and focus and listen to maybe the messages you're receiving at this time, your dreams, whatever is tugging at you. If there is this one thing that you just can't let go of, whether it's a vision, an idea, I think you need to follow it at this time. And I don't think you need to have other things distracting you. You need to protect your vision as well. Especially if you're branching out into your own business. You need to protect that vision. Do not allow what is going on around you to affect you as much as it is. Easier said than done, I know. But I feel like that's why the clearest message for you guys is to refocus and get to work. Because this is about what you are doing for you. It's not about anybody else. The Aries moon is a very self-oriented moon. It's about what we need, what we want, what we desire. So of course there can be a lot of conflict right now because everybody's vying for their own path. They're vying for their own needs. That can get very tumultuous. So just don't get lost. Don't get lost in the way that you feel. Don't be irrational. Don't be brash. You need to think clearly. You need to regain focus here. What are the confirming energies here? Yeah, you need to pay attention. You could be repeating some pretty not positive stuff. Yeah, man. I think, like I said, despite what is going on around you, if you can move through this and not repeat the same cycle that you've been through before, there's some sort of caution happening here with being distracted. It's almost like you need to get some sense, or you need to use your senses to navigate through this. Don't just go blindly. You'll pull through because the worst is over in this situation for sure. And the other positive thing too is with the Wheel of Fortune and its downturn, it'll just turn up. You'll get through this period. It's not going to be that difficult. The only way it's going to be difficult is if you continue wandering through a situation aimlessly or just not following your instincts or intuition. Continue fighting for what is yours and what you feel like belongs to you. Because I think you're making room to really receive something here. I feel like it's one of those things where a lot of times when life takes a turn, there are reasons for it, and there's reasons why we lose that car, or we lose that job, or we lose our house, or we lose this, or we lose that, and it's because we're shifting into a new frame of life that maybe you wouldn't have shifted into if those things wouldn't have fallen away. So shift gears and get back to work. That's all there is to it. You just need to get back to work. Okay, Aries? This has been your October 15th through 31st reading. If it resonated with you, please hit the like button, share, subscribe. If you want to inquire about a personal reading with me, you can contact me at delicatetensiontarot@gmail.com, or you can follow me on my Instagram at delicatetension. Both of those are down in the description box below. Thank you for joining me and keeping up with me. Obviously, I will be posting videos for the Mercury retrograde in Scorpio that's coming up on October 31st through November 16th, I believe. And then, of course, the new moon. I'll be doing a reading and a video for that as well. But yeah, take care of yourselves and just get to work.